Sun Tzu, an esteemed Chinese military general, strategist, and philosopher, lived during the Eastern Zhou period in ancient China. He is widely recognized as the mastermind behind The Art of War, a highly influential work on military strategy that has had a profound impact on both Western and Eastern military thinking, as well as the field of business tactics. The fundamental philosophy behind The Art of War is centered on comprehending the complexities of warfare, utilizing strategic planning to secure victory, and reducing losses. Despite initially being intended for military strategy, its principles have been adapted for various domains, including politics, sports, and business.
The supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting. All warfare is based on deception. Opportunities multiply as they are seized. Victorious warriors win first and then go to war, while defeated warriors go to war first and then seek to win. The greatest victory is that which requires no battle. There is no instance of a nation benefiting from prolonged warfare. To know your enemy, you must become your enemy. Attack him where he is unprepared, appear where you are not expected. Tactics without strategy is the noise before defeat. The general who advances without coveting fame and retreats without fearing disgrace, whose only thought is to protect his country and do good service for his sovereign, is the jewel of the kingdom. When you surround an army, leave an outlet free. Do not press a desperate foe too hard. When the enemy is relaxed, make them toil when full, starve them when settled, make them move. In war, the way is to avoid what is strong and to strike at what is weak. Thus the expert in battle moves the enemy and is not moved by him. In the midst of chaos, there is also opportunity. The enlightened ruler is heedful, and the good general full of caution. He who knows when he can fight and when he cannot will be victorious. The skillful soldier does not raise a second levy, neither are his supply wagons loaded more than twice. When the common soldiers are too strong and their officers too weak, the result is insubordination. The control of a large force is the same principle as the control of a few men. It is merely a question of dividing up their numbers. To win 100 victories in 100 battles is not the acme of skill. To subdue the enemy without fighting is the acme of skill. The general who wins the battle makes many calculations in his temple before the battle is fought. A wise general makes a point of foraging on the enemy. There is no general who has not heard of these 5 matters. He who understands them will be victorious. He who does not understand them will not be victorious. Know the enemy and know yourself. In 100 battles you will never be in peril. Appear weak when you are strong, and strong when you are weak. The onrush of a conquering force is like the bursting of pent-up waters into a chasm 1,000 fathoms deep. When you see the correct and efficient path, take it without hesitation. In taking a hold on the enemy's baggage train, be sure to allow for the needs of your own men. He who exercises no forethought but makes light of his opponents is sure to be captured by them. If you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. Build your opponent a golden bridge to retreat across. Pretend inferiority and encourage his arrogance. It is the unemotional, reserved, calm, detached warrior who wins, not the hothead seeking vengeance and not the ambitious seeker of fortune. The opportunity to secure ourselves against defeat lies in our own hands, but the opportunity of defeating the enemy is provided by the enemy himself. In all fighting, the direct method may be used for joining battle, but indirect methods will be needed in order to secure victory. There are not more than 5 musical notes, yet the combinations of these 5 give rise to more melodies than can ever be heard. Let your plans be dark and impenetrable as night, and when you move, fall like a thunderbolt. The general that hearkens to my counsel and acts upon it will conquer. Let such a one be retained in command. The general that hearkens not to my counsel nor acts upon it will suffer defeat. Let such a one be dismissed. Rewards for good service should not be deferred a single day. When your army has crossed the border, you should burn your boats and bridges, in order to make it clear to everybody that you have no hankering after home. If our soldiers are not overburdened with money, it is not because they have a distaste for riches. When you plunder a countryside, let the spoil be divided amongst your men. When envoys are sent with compliments in their mouths, it is a sign that the enemy wishes for a truce. Move not unless you see an advantage. Use not your troops unless there is something to be gained. Fight not unless the position is critical. The clever combatant looks to the effect of combined energy and does not require too much from individuals. He who knows these things, and in fighting puts his knowledge into practice, will win his battles. One mark of a great soldier is that he fights on his own terms or fights not at all. In war, numbers alone confer no advantage. Do not advance relying on sheer military power. If the campaign is protracted, the resources of the state will not be equal to the strain. The good fighters of old first put themselves beyond the possibility of defeat, and then waited for an opportunity of defeating the enemy. Secret operations are essential in war. Upon them the army relies to make its every move. Great results can be achieved with small forces. To a surrounded enemy, you must leave a way of escape. If your enemy is secure at all points, be prepared for him. If he is in superior strength, evade him. There are roads which must not be followed, armies which must not be attacked, towns which must not be besieged, positions which must not be contested, commands of the sovereign which must not be obeyed. If the enemy's troops march up angrily and remain facing ours for a long time without either joining battle or taking themselves off again, the situation is one that demands great vigilance and circumspection. The art of war teaches us to rely not on the likelihood of the enemy's not coming, but on our own readiness to receive him, not on the chance of his not attacking, but rather on the fact that we have made our position unassailable. Use your enemy's hand to catch a snake. There is a proper season for making attacks with fire, and special days for starting a conflagration. There are 5 dangerous faults which may affect a general: recklessness, cowardice, a hasty temper, a delicacy of honor which is sensitive to shame, and over-solicitude for his men. The art of giving orders is not to try to rectify the minor blunders and not to be swayed by petty doubts. A sovereign of high character and intelligence must be able to know the right man, should place the responsibility on him, and expect results. The experienced soldier, once in motion, is never bewildered. Once he has broken camp, he is never at a loss. Those skilled in war bring the enemy to the field of battle and are not brought there by him. The general who thoroughly understands the advantages that accompany variation of tactics knows how to handle his troops. When the outlook is bright, bring it before their eyes, but tell them nothing when the situation is gloomy. It is essential to seek out enemy agents who have come to conduct espionage against you and to bribe them to serve you. Without subtle ingenuity of mind, one cannot make certain of the truth of their reports. If soldiers are punished before they have grown attached to you, they will not prove submissive, and, unless submissive, they will be practically useless. When you induce others to construct a formation while you yourself are formless, then you are concentrated while the enemy is divided. The principle on which to manage an army is to set up one standard of courage which all must reach. The art of war is of vital importance to the state. Speed is the essence of war. Take advantage of the enemy's unpreparedness, travel by unexpected routes, and strike him where he has taken no precautions. When you are going to attack nearby, make it look as if you are going to go a long way. When you are going to attack far away, make it look as if you are going just a short distance. In raiding and plundering, be like fire, in immovability like a mountain. Do not interfere with an army that is returning home. Hence that general is skillful in attack whose opponent does not know what to defend, and he is skillful in defense whose opponent does not know what to attack. Standing on the defensive indicates insufficient strength, attacking, a superabundance of strength. If ignorant both of your enemy and yourself, you are certain to be in peril. If the enemy leaves a door open, you must rush in. What is essential in war is victory, not prolonged operations. If you can march 1,000 miles without distress, be sure that you are not going too fast. The side that knows when to fight and when not to will take the victory. There are 3 ways in which a ruler can bring misfortune upon his army. When the higher officers are angry and insubordinate, and on meeting the enemy give battle on their own account from a feeling of resentment, before the commander-in-chief can tell whether or not he is in a position to fight, the campaign is bound to be a calamity. Too frequent rewards signify that the enemy is at the end of his resources. Too many punishments betray a condition of dire distress. Regard your soldiers as your children, and they will follow you into the deepest valleys. Look upon them as your own beloved sons, and they will stand by you even unto death. When the common soldiers are attached to their leader and the officers are competent, the result is victory. When the officers are too strong and the common soldiers too weak, the result is collapse. When the general is weak and without authority, when his orders are not clear and distinct, when there are no fixed duties assigned to officers and men, and the ranks are formed in a slovenly, haphazard manner, the result is utter disorganization. Use the conquered foe to augment one's own strength. In making tactical dispositions, the highest pitch you can attain is to conceal them. Do not linger in dangerously isolated positions. He will win who knows when to fight and when not to fight. The general is the bulwark of the state. If the bulwark is complete at all points, the state will be strong. If the bulwark is defective, the state will be weak. When you find your opponent's weak points, that is the key to victory. A wise general makes a point of foraging of the enemy. Those who render others' armies helpless without fighting are the best of all.